Ladies and gentlemen, 5 rounds gone in this multi-sprint series season 4, and it is all come down to this. It is the finale. It is the final showdown of the multi-class madness that we've had so far for you. It's taken us to the new year, this series, and what a fantastic track to end on. Possibly the most famous racing circuit of all time. We are at Spa-Francorchamps. We are on the Grand Prix layout because no other layout matters. And we're already in qualifying. We're already ready to go see what these cars can do at their absolute best. My name is Jack Mays, and joining me in the commentary box, we have Callum Kerwin, and giving us the pretty pictures and the rightfully wonderful sounds, we have our wonderful broadcaster Ted Edwards for the final time this season. Callum, are we ready?
I'm ready. I hope you are.
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Fantastic. That sounds great.
Ready for V10 screams.
V10 noises out of the Huracan. I really like the fact that all the different GT3 cars have their sort of road-derived engines in them. Obviously, the Huracan is based loosely off the 5-litre V10 that was in the sort of the Gen 1 R8 and the Gallardo, but the 5.2-litre is very different and is what they use to base their race engine off. It is literally the same block, but it has a few different bits and pieces removed that you don't need from the road car, such as like the AC and things like that. Off the engine that isn't powered off that anymore. So yeah, I learned that watching a YouTube video the other day of someone building one that had completely disintegrated itself, which was quite entertaining.
Do you have any fun facts for the V8 in the AMG that we're on board with right now?
No. I only saw the YouTube video the other day on the Lamborghini, and I have the attention span. That's the limits of what I can remember from the YouTube video the other day.
Fair enough. Yeah. I was much enjoying your engine facts, and I was just kind of hoping that there was a bit more. All I know is it's a V8 motor. It's got 8 cylinders.
I can tell you it sounds amazing in real
It
life.
does sound very, very good.
It shakes pit lanes.
I think this might be one of the best represented GT3 engine notes in LMU. Could be a controversial take, but I feel like it is incredibly well represented. It has a very good in-car noise that it shares with its real-life counterpart. It is the newest GT3 car, technically. It was the last to be released in LMU, not the newest, obviously, that exists. That would be the Ford Mustang GT3. And I'm sure next year, well, not next year 2027, we'll probably have a whole host of new GT3 cars. There might be one. There might be two. I'm saying the Lamborghini Temerario GT3 and the GR GT3, if they share that name. See if Toyota decides to change it. Or maybe they'll decide to badge it a Lexus. I don't know. The Lexus GT3 has been with us forever and unfortunately isn't with us today. Nobody is driving it, so only a couple of V8s joining us. And to be frank, to talk about the elephant in the room, not a terrible amount of cars with us in the finale. Things tend to dwindle a bit as we get later on in the season, once championship battles have sort of sorted themselves, and know for a fact that January is a tricky time of year for really anything. It's pretty much the slowest time of year for, well, real racing, sim racing, everything. Everybody's still getting over the holidays, still sorting themselves out, prepping them for the new year. So nothing against drivers who aren't showing up here today, but we have a bit of a lighter crew. Hopefully, Callum, fingers and toes crossed, we still get some legendary Spa-themed racing action.
I can tell you for a fact it is not slow in real racing at the moment. As much as, yes, there is no sort of on-track action. I know actually the Dubai 24 Hours is, I think, this weekend, potentially, actually. I think that's the first big endurance event of the year. But everyone is testing and everyone is building their cars. As you know, I do bits and pieces of that, and we are flat out re-prepping cars, driving around, picking up bits and pieces, and we actually had our engines fire up for the first time today since, well, probably like December time-ish, since we started taking the cars apart. So it's a big step. A few teething problems, but nothing couldn't be fixed that day and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's always a nice thing to hear and see and smell. And yeah, I love being at tracks as well. Like I always say to everyone that race fuel, it just smells like normal petrol, but so much nicer. And when you're standing in a workshop and you've got 3 race engines running at the same time, it gets quite fumey even with the big door open at the front. But it's a good smell, and it's one that's been missed for a couple of months without being at racetracks and seeing cars go round. But fortunately, we have this to keep us company. A bit of nattering done about racing and what's going on at the moment. But what's going on the screen at the minute is we have 5 cars out in qualifying. LMU is doing the fantastic glitch of not telling us what all of them are. We've got a Merc, we've got a BMW, and I know we've got a Lamborghini. The rest of them, we shall see them as they go round. Whitburn is currently on pole. We've got a couple of BMWs, actually. Rybecky's in a BMW as well. Whitburn's on pole at the moment, closely followed, about a second behind by Janowski, and Rybecky pushing a bit too hard there, going over the exit curb up at Malmedy, and I imagine that's invalidated that lap time. So he'll have to go around. I think he'll have time for should have time for one more Jack, shouldn't he? But he's about 3/10 off Janowski at the moment, which is the closest we've got in qualifying.
Yeah, it seems like because the lap times are so long here at Spa, second longest circuit in LMU, first being Le Mans, gives the sim its name and all that. It is very long, but it only means a couple of qualifying laps, and it's very easy to make mistakes here. Our broadcast team before the start of this stream, we were talking about how Spa feels a bit more difficult on LMU than it does on other sims, and we're not smart enough to know exactly why that is. We had a couple of theories, but there is something about this circuit and this sim when you put them together. It is not trivial. It is not easy In fact, it's quite hard, and usually you think GT3 is pretty easy to take around any given circuit. They got ABS. They're not as fast as prototypes or hypercars, and they're a little bit more tame. But I can promise you, it is very, very easy to get it wrong. A spin is right around the corner. Track limits, ruining your laps, are never too far off. So it's down to these drivers not making any mistakes and getting everything right. I now see that Janowski has pipped Whitburn by, well, almost an insignificant amount, but racing is fine margins. And, well, margins have swung back the other way as I say that. Whitburn, the first driver to get into the 217s, crossing line with barely enough time to start another lap. The mighty Lamborghini Huracan proving that it is no longer the slow bag of bolts that it used to be. In fact, it's one of the quickest cars in the sim. And Cal, I'm not sure if you're aware, absolute weapon in a straight line. So well sorted for Spa, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I mean, that is sort of the big talking point of Spa, is how you set the car up. It's very similar to a circuit in the UK of Snetterton, which we go to sometimes here. I think that was Rybecker getting out of the way of Whitburn, who's gone even quicker in the first sector. I'm being told by Ted that we've just got Whitburn and Shipston on track, so we'll see if either of them manage to improve. Shipston is just hanging outside the top 10. We do have hypercars on the circuit, but they are to stay out of the way of the GT3s that are finishing. I think they might just about catch Whitburn, but he'll get out of the way as soon as he crosses the line. But yeah, it's a very difficult track to set yourself up for, as Shipston stays fourth with that lap. He did improve, as Ted rightfully points out in my ear, but stays fourth, about 4 tenths off Rybacky there, as Whitburn is coming up through the Fania chicane and down towards Stabilo 1 and Curve Paul de Frere. And then he's going to take the long run up to Blanchimont. So this is where the straight line speed setup helps you, although through the middle sector is where you'll struggle if you set your car up for straight line speed. So it's sort of, where do you want to be quick? Do you want to be quick in sector 1 and 3, or do you want to be quick in sector 2? It seems that most people tend to go the same way, or you play to your car's strengths. Here, Whitburn still up at the moment on the lap time, but only by 100th or so, according to the deltas on the screen. We'll see if he manages to take an even bigger lead over Janowski at the end.
Well,
and no.
He's decided that maybe he doesn't want to show the ultimate pace of the car. Maybe he was down on the Delta and he was like, I'm on pole. Let's say that I'm as quick as I am and not cross the line, not get that time counted. Could be the thought process there. And Billy Octane aboard the mighty BMW V8 hypercar is going to start us off. Going to be the first one leading the pack in qualifying, the first one to set a valid lap, if that lap stays valid by the time he finishes all 19 corners. Here we have Gurgly Goy, which is one of my favorite names I've ever gotten to say on this broadcast. It rolls off the tongue in such a unique way. And I'm sure they're going to show us, well, maybe a unique lap time. And we have Marco Badowski coming out of pit lane a little bit late, maybe taking a bit longer to make sure the car's set up properly, maybe joining a bit towards the end of the session. But we have Porsche, BMW, and the Aston Martin Valkyrie that we have yet to see, but we know he's around. It's Milan van der Vecken, who, well, on all accounts, sort of feel like the Valkyrie is not as quick as it used to be. And Milan this whole season has pretty much showed us, yeah, that's not really the case. Could be he vastly prefers the car, the style of driving that is involved, and absolutely gets this thing to fly every time. And we're glad for it, because the sound is, let's be honest, Cal, it's really good.
Yeah, I think it should be mandatory that someone has to take a Valkyrie in any LMU series. I don't know if we can make that a rule, but I'm sure we can. Speaking of hypercars and engines, and Ed mentioning Cadillac going over to America, Ted did point out that Ford recently announced that their new hypercar, which is, I believe, based on the Ford GT, but we're not quite sure yet on exactly what it's going to look like. I can't remember off the top of my head if it's been announced visually yet or not, but it is going to have an engine based on the 5.4 litre Coyote V8, which is the engine in the GT4 and GT3 car as well. So it's one of them where they're going to use it all the way through, which is quite impressive actually. I don't know of any other brand that uses the same engine in GT4, GT3, and Hypercar. But
I can't say that there is, but
I don't think so. I mean, there's not a lot of cars that are in all of them. Porsche obviously have the Cayman, the 911, and the 963, although that's not racing next year.
It is in America. It is in America.
It
Yes,
is in IMSA. It's just not on the wet calendar next year.
No,
But Aston obviously have Vantage variants of the GT4 and GT3 car, but they don't use the same engine as the Valkyrie. But
gosh, I wish they would.
God, could you imagine a GT4 car that sounded like that?
That would be absurd.
A lot of action going on that steering wheel.
Yeah, seriously. One could refer to this as what we like to call bro steering, which is just if it doesn't turn, keep turning. There's a lot of lock coming in. Valkyrie is known to understeer just a bit. It could also be the steering lock, the steering range could have been increased, though I don't think you can increase the steering range in hypercars. I think that's exclusively for GT3s and prototypes. But that is a lot of steering lock. Milan clearly pushing to get the absolute best out of the Valkyrie. It's, as I said, known to be a bit understeery from time to time. It's very quick in the high speed, or at least used to be very quick in the high speed. He's mighty in the second sector, which is not something you'd expect from this kind of car. You'd say, oh, Valkyrie, quick in a straight line, that. And it would blitz the first and third, but blitzing the second at the moment, getting ready to cross the line using all the exit available. There's Billy Octane in the rearview mirror. We'll see. Van der Vecken goes straight to the top and ends up improving in the third sector by just a bit.
Billy improved by about 5/10 there.
You are absolutely right. He improved massively, but elects that maybe that's not how he wants to start his lap. Maybe that's not how he wants to do his qualifying. Hopefully he comes back out again. Maybe he'll actually should have enough time for a quick out lap and then a quick lap. And is the noise
on
from our
mediums?
Yeah. I'm wondering, are intelligent and beautiful broadcasters giving us a theory of his, which I think I might agree with. It could be he's thinking that it's too hot to properly run the softs at top speed for multiple laps in a row, which could be why Octane pulled over. He was maybe able to do 2 laps before those things were shredded. And Van der Vecken is clearly still going and clearly has pace on that tire. So maybe it's a bit hot out there today. And it is a little... I know I can check the split 2 race temperature, track temperature. It's about 32 degrees, so bit warm, but not extraordinarily hot, but might be hot enough that on qualifying fuel, on qualifying setups at absolute maximum attack, those softs might be falling off quickly.
I was about to say, Jack, that I would still rather do 1 flyer on a set of softs than multiple on a set of mediums. However, Van der Vecken is currently a second up. So ignore everything I've just said. Clearly the mediums is the way to go in qualifying and just pound multiple laps out. Let's see. 1.3 quicker than Billy Octane now. Bit of a lock-up going into T1, but that won't affect him too much. He still managed to grab the apex and sort of hook it round there. But yeah, the guys on the softs are struggling really now. I think they've decided that that's it really. If you were going to go softs, you needed to sort of escape back to the pit lane after every flyer and keep going again, which means you do waste more time on outlaps. And Van der Vecken has proved that just pounding around on a set of mediums in this heat seems to work a bit better. Badowski goes third, takes it away from Goy, but Yeah,
I
it's an
think.
interesting strategy, Jack, because you wouldn't see that
Definitely.
in F1. And Van der Weyken, much to Ted's excitement, is another 10th up.
It is, and really not sure about that camera view. I'm like, I feel like it could be good, but there's almost too many trees. And that was the helicam. So I don't know, maybe helicopter should fly a bit higher. Just make the shot look a bit prettier. I don't know. It was kind of nice, but the trees were a bit too many, and well, he's going quicker again. So I mean, everybody else in the hypercar field at the moment, they're in pit lane. Their softs were not enough, a bit wide. I think that was turned exit of 13. That was exit of 13. Here's Stavilo, and he is slower in the second sector. I think maybe that's the amount of grip. That's the perfect grip that they have, though. I know that mistake probably cost him a tenth or two. Was it? Oh my lord! That oh, that is not the line through Blanchimont. Good lord, that is a way to end off the season of qualifying off with a bang, a Beyblade engagement. And who's that guy? Says Ted Edwards. Ted Edwards. I think that's Ted Edwards. Weird that his car exists in the pit lane when I could have sworn he's talking in our ear. I don't know. Must be some kind of weird glitch. Who knows? Definitely didn't show up for a race at any point and didn't finish the first lap. Certainly, that would never
I'm
have
still waiting
happened.
for Ted to do cameras and drive the race at the same time, and
That
I'm not
would
stopping
be
saying it till I see it.
quite special. That would be incredible. Such as Milan van der Becken's qualifying run with the 159.2, the only driver in the 59s on the pole. Billy Octane is in second, Marco Badowski third, and Gergely in fourth. They seem to sort of be reasonably equally spread out. Well, they were equally spread out until Badowski improved his qualifying. And, well, it's not a huge gap, not a gap that can't be overcome during the race. It's Whitburn in the Lamborghini on pole. In the GT3s, Jacob Janowski in second, Wojciech Becky in third, Tom Shipston fourth, and Jane McLovin in fifth after qualifying. It is worth mentioning, we're missing our championship leaders and our championship contenders here today. The big sort of dramas were coming into the race was that our GT3 leaders were in fact they were tied in the standings, and
I
neither of
have
them
some
showed up.
info on that.
You
Um,
do info.
I have been scrolling through the chat that they have. The drivers have a season chat as well. And apparently they wanted to tie points at the end of the season for the memes, and
You know,
they're both busy.
I would argue that it's more because they're busy and not because they wanted to tie on purpose. It was a
No, I
hard
think
fight between them, but
they probably ended up tied after the last race and then decided that actually, yeah, we're going to do that. I think there is a LMP2 event going on at some point that people are practicing for. So I know that's why Veermack can't be here.
could
But
be.
I
They
am
might be
currently
practicing
still
for the four
scrolling.
hours of Spa.
I think
There's
that might be what
a
it is.
special event in LMU, of which that I will be taking part at some point in the Lamborghini, and I must say, thumbs up because that Lamborghini seems pretty freaking fast. So thumbs up for that. That's the 4 hour. That's one of LMU's many special events that they do. They're absolutely chucking endurance racing at the drivers in LMU, and it is that light grid, but it is a pretty grid nonetheless. A reasonable bit of differentiation between cars. We've got the mighty custom liveried Valkyrie and BMW on the front row. Of course, the Bongo Tech SJ and H livery, and it's been shining all season, along with Vander Vecken's. I don't know what to call it, but I think it's cool as heck. Valkyrie livery, and that everybody knows that. That's the Penske Porsche. Uh, that's been incredibly successful in IMSA and in WEC, and I still don't really understand why Porsche's pulled out of WEC. Shrug shoulders. I'm not a businessman. I'm sure there's a reason, and well, The Europeans will miss him.
I'm
I
imagining
won't be
it's going to
missing
be
the
to do
Force.
with money. We did
I would
highlight
imagine.
this livery at the start because we could
It's
see the moustache, and we were
it's
wondering
a
what was on it.
Wawa livery, and
It's
I'm sure
Wawa
neither of
and
you know what
cats.
Wawa is.
I know what Wawa is. It's that big
You
gas
do?
station thing you have in America.
Yes, it is the big gas station
Yeah.
thing that we have in America, and
What does it
it's
say on the roof?
Wawa and
Cats
cats. Cats
make
make
people
people happy.
happy.
I agree. I
And
agree.
also
I'm cat
sponsored by
sitting right
Royal
now.
Purple, who make very good gearbox oil. We use that in the F3 car. Can you
That
guess what
is
color it is, Jack?
blue.
Uh, yes. No,
Is that
it's yeah,
is it?
obviously a deep purple, but then turns a sort of reddy brown once it's been used.
I really like the Kirby on the side of of that BMW, telling you
The
to suck it.
Do you think Ted
And
has a drone license? And
no,
if so, we should probably get it taken off him.
I don't think he does. I do know the controls are completely inverted for LMU, which and I feel like as someone who does have a drone license, I should probably go try it because I want to see how borked they are, or if it is in fact just a skill issue from Mr. Edwards. Is I think the drone just crashed. It oh what
Maybe
that
Van der Vecken has decided that he wants to start from the pit lane and see what he
maybe
can do.
maybe. Well,
Van der
ladies and
Vecken is
gentlemen,
not on the grid.
we haven't even started the race, and there's already been a change for the lead. Well, technically, there hasn't been a change for the lead yet because they haven't actually overtaken Milan van der Vecken, who's sitting in the pit lane. But Billy Octane will inherit the lead, and a bit of drama already to get it started. I would like to think that Milan's just going to start from the back of the grid. That does mean he has to make his way through the handful of GT3s that we have, and it does mean that Billy Octane has as good of a chance as he's going to get. He's starting, well, on the pole, kind of, but on the wrong side of the circuit. And we're getting ready to go green for the final time this season. It's the final finale in 2026 for green flag. Billy Octane already going super defensive. He wants to keep this lead through turn one. You can see Milan. Well, I was going to say you can see him lined up on it. A little bit of contact on the exit. Billy Octane maintaining the lead through the first couple of corners. The cars in the back filing one after another through Eau Rouge and Radion. And, a bit of track limits from Gloy, maybe conceding that back just a little bit. Nope, using that advantage. That is not exactly the most legal way to take that, and we'll see if Billy Octane can do anything on the brakes. Oh, he can. He's very good on the brakes there, too. Oh,
Oh, they
high through the
touch.
chicane. Oh, they touch bigly. They're both in the gravel, and here it comes. Oh, it's Podolsky taking the lead after Gurgly Gloy and Billy Octane came together. That's a hypercar on the back of the GT3 field. It is going to be a last to first attempt from Van der Vecken, and the hypercar scrabbling already is good news for Milan. He doesn't have to work quite as hard, but taking a nice intensive through the GT3 traffic, using the speed where he can. And it is still close in the hypercar field, and that's very good work for Milan van der Vecken, not stepping on any toes, doing it very cleanly. Whitburn still leads the GT3 field, Callum, and might have only been a couple of cars, but they're fighting as if this is for everything.
Yeah, I mean, Janowski took a look down the inside at Rivage, but then I think with Van der Vecken coming through, it's sort of just because it came through Pilon and did the two cars, one in the entry, one in the exit. It sort of split them a little bit, but it does mean the Merc might get quite a good run down the back straight in the slipstream of the Lambo. You did say how quick the Lambo is in a straight line. However, there's a board there that has been dislodged from its place, one of the sponsor boardings. So something's gone awry down there as the hypercars came through. But it's still saying it's Podolsky, Goy, and Octane in a line, and then Van der Vecken is chasing them down. But yeah, I mean, if I was Billy, I'd be a bit fuming about that. You've had a car cut at the top of Eau Rouge and Radion, and then use that straight line speed advantage to then get down the outside and then make contact with you. And Yeah, I think he's probably rightfully a bit fuming. However, he has still got an hour and 17 minutes plus 1 lap to make the ground back up. But you can see Van der Weyken there gaining in the background, Jack.
Yeah, it's almost a bit absurd how quickly he is going than the current hypercar leader. But no, I think yeah, Octane rightfully a bit angry about that one. I don't know if I was Gurgly Goy right now, I'd sort of consider if once Octane catches up to me, I'd hand that position back because it was their mistake that put them both in the gravel. Goy got a bit out of shape in the chicane and, well, sort of spun into the side of Billy Octane, forced them both into the gravel. But we'll see how they sort that out. It's Janowski chasing down Whitburn right now at the beginning of this race. And now might be the best time to go for a move if they can. Here's Octane right on the back now of Gurgly Goy. Clearly, all of that ground was really made up in the second sector. Octane seeming much quicker. It is BMW on BMW, so not a whole lot of difference in car performance. There could be set of differences. That's one car set up for one thing, one car set up for the other, but for the most part, they should be pretty much equal, which means it's just down to the skill of the driver really having a bit of a wiggle in the braking zone and is, well, got it all cleared up on the exit. It's going to be, is he going to try it around the outside of LaSauce? He's going to try it. We'll see. Bit of a wiggle for Goy on the braking. He does get it done. The up and over for Billy Octane, not quite enough. That was brave and almost well executed, but now, of course, for Billy Octane, he has the slipstream coming out of Radeon. Oh, he's right on the back of him.
You can be too close here, Jack, though. If you're so close coming out the back of Radeon, you can't carry a little flash for the lights there. You can't carry the overspeed. Are we going for round 2 here?
We go.
Billy manages to do it quite comfortably on the brakes, actually. I think maybe Goy remembered that the lap 1 incident, however, and sort of, I don't want to say let him have it, because it was still a very good move there from Billy, but chose not to fight it as hard as lap 1. Probably is the right way of saying it. And you might have spotted Van der Weyken there in the background. He's now 2.5 seconds off the back of this fight, and about a further 3 seconds off Badowski in the race lead. I mean, Badowski's not slow. He's got a good chance here of potentially causing Van der Weyken some problems once he catches up to him. But judging off the qualifying pace that Van der Weyken had, I think he might struggle, but the GT3 leaders are still together. They've sort of broken away from the pack behind. They've got about 2.5 seconds in hand, so they've done their first job, which is pulling away together, and then maybe now they can have a bit of a scrap for a while. Now they've got some gap behind them to play with. Obviously, if you're all in a line, it's very easy to lose multiple positions if you go for a move and it doesn't work out. So these guys, if Janowski can close that 6/10 back up, which I think just that Lamborghini is just a bit too strong for him at this point of the race. It's weird though, the cars that you're saying are quick in the straight line are gaining quite a lot in the middle sector, so probably showing that they've gone for a more high downforce approach than the cars that are generically quick in a straight line.
That is definitely worth considering, and we're getting news of just how quick Van der Weyken is, and it's multiple tenths in every single sector. He is absolutely flying. Is he close enough? Does the Valkyrie have enough speed to get the move done at the end of the Kemmel Straight into the Chicane? We shall see in, I don't know, a couple of seconds. We'll see what Milan does. He is going to think about it on the brakes. It's not defended too heavily. It's very clean, very well judged from our Valkyrie connoisseur himself. Milan Van der Weyken is now up onto the podium, and it took him about 6-7 minutes to catch up to the back of the hypercar field, and mighty pace from that car and from this driver. All that's next is Octane Badowski for him to get back onto the lead column, and well, judging by how things have gone in the first couple of minutes, I don't think it's going to take him too terribly long.
Who needs qualifying in an endurance race, eh? But no, I was
Good point.
actually I've just had a fantastic idea for sort of an April Fool's race. Where have you ever heard of something called Fun Cup in the UK, Jack?
I can't say that I have.
It's old Beetles, but they're not Beetles anymore, if that makes sense. They just look like Beetles. And their qualifying is done by somebody, one of the grid, picking numbered balls out of a hat. And
Okay.
whatever in order you get picked in, that's your qualifying position. I feel like we should do that as an April Fool's race and just get everybody in some sort of slightly memeish car and then decide a qualifying position based on a random number generator and just sort of see what happens. Ed's recommending the Glick. Any
I say
advances
Van
on the
Wall.
Glick?
Van Wall is the right call. The Van Wall is so slow that it cannot compete within its own class, and it's only fair if it's Van Wall v Van Wall. And as somebody who's done a bit of goofy, silly racing in Van Walls on goofy, silly circuits, recommended, highly recommended. I think we'll see what we can do about that. I don't know. If any event managers are listening right now, do it. Or, well, I don't know, Callum, we could probably do it ourselves. We'll see. We might get shot down, but worst they can say is no. Notice Whitburn went a bit wide there out of Paul Flair corner, but it's clearly not slowing him down too much. I was expecting the gap to come back towards Janowski's way. I was going to say, I wonder where Milan is. Well, I think I got my answer. Milan van der Vecken's all over the backside of Billy Octane. And, well...
Billy's gained a bit on Badowski, so he's only 9/10 behind now.
Definitely done that. You can see he's catching him a bit quicker. Now, I think once you get someone like Milan behind you, you suddenly find that maybe there's a bit more throttle pedal left in your car, and nothing's going to make you quicker like somebody right on your bumper. And Milan
he closed up there so much under the brakes. He's got a lot more confidence on the brake pedal than Octane has. You can tell that just from the off-board shots. I think he's braking at least 5 meters later there for the Fania chicane. But we'll see. There's a big stop coming up here, up to the bus stop chicane. So we'll see how confident he really is on the brakes. But I think this might be a bit of a foregone conclusion, Jack.
I think it might be, but Octane, though, closed about half a second on Badowski and is always going to fight it hard. Not super defensive into the braking zone, but very confident on the brakes, almost running into the back of Badowski. A little bit of lockup here and there. I think Octane knows that if he can maybe get close enough to Badowski, he might be able to get past him or at least use him as a bit of defense. That was Milan locking up at the back of the lineup. But Octane knows if he's on the back of Badowski, at least here, he's got the slipstream keeping him company. Maybe that'll fend off Milan up to the Lacombe chicane, but we'll see. We're on board now through Eau Rouge. Can we just say it's the most famous corner in racing? And the overspeed going through the corner. It doesn't matter if Billy Octane has the slipstream. It doesn't make a difference.
He's going to go for
Van der Vecken's going to do 2 in 1. He's thinking about it. He's got one. Is he going to do the other on the exit? He does do the other on the exit. Not just 1 in 1 corner, 2 in 2 corners. For Milan van der Vecken, he's taken the lead of the race with style. Very good stuff. There's Octane in the background.
Badowski went wide. Badowski locked up into the into Rivage, and then Octane got through before No Name.
Yep, Octane sensing an opportunity there, getting right on through. Ted Edwards is going to give us a replay of the proceedings, see what it was from Billy's perspective.
So he goes narrow here to try and sort of block Octane, and then just ends up just having to release the brake pedal and just runs out wide, and Octane just slides straight through on the conventional sort of racing line there. But he might not have locked up, but he's because he's gone narrow on the way in, he's had to run it in really deep, and then that just kills his exit speed. It was weird there because Badowski didn't really look like he needed to defend that. He was quite far out, but if you look on the brakes, you'll see just because he's narrow here.
I think he might have thought he could have gotten alongside Milan. I think that's what he was thinking about because he sort of
see how late he has to release the brakes there.
Yeah.
so he's releasing the brakes so far deep into the corner, and then because he's having to turn even tighter, he's had to overslow, and that means that he's just had no speed coming off of the exit of the hairpin. But I don't know whether it was a look on a move to trying to put Van der Weyken off, but I don't know. If I was Badowski there, that probably wouldn't be what I was trying to do. I think you know that Van der Weyken's now going to drive off into the sunset. By the way, it has taken him a tenth of the race.
Yeah. You know what this is putting me in mind of? Do you remember? I think it was it was either 2020, I think it was 2021 or 2022. Max Verstappen had quite a couple penalties coming into Spa. I think started like 18th, 17th. And I think it took him 5 or 10 laps to get back up onto the podium. I don't know if you
I think
remember
it would have been 2020, because wasn't 2021 the year it got rained out?
Ooh, might have. Actually, I think it was either
Russell
that. It would have been.
podium.
I think it would have been 2022. Then I don't know. It was that period of time. I think it was the ground effect regulations. It might have been the first year.
Seeing as we're talking F1, and then now currently isn't a very close battle on track. Thoughts on the Red Bull and AlphaTauri liveries?
Good. Red Bull, good. Red Bull, good. I'm glad they went back to the blue because I was kind of just getting tired of the black and blue and it being mostly black, and there's enough black race cars around. It's sort of, it's harkening back to their sort of classic livery. I think it's good. I knew they weren't going to get terribly creative with it because, well, that's sort of their IP. That's sort of, that's a very recognizable car.
It is the easiest job in motorsports for the last 5 years, being the Red Bull livery designer. I don't know how much that person gets paid, but I want that job.
Hey, but they changed the outline of the actual Red Bull from like yellow to white. That's a big job. Everybody knows. And but no, I think that's a good one. The V-Carb car, I mean, it's very similar to how it was last year. I think it was one of the better liveries.
I mean, I've never personally had a problem with that car. I think it looks really good.
I haven't either.
I
agree.
It's great. So
yep.
I think when it looks that good, you're sort of allowed not to change it. I mean, Toro Rosso, V-Carb, AlphaTauri, whatever you call them, they've always come out with some pretty good liveries. I mean, looking back over like the sort of the past, I remember was it 2017 was the like chrome blue one. I think it was 2017, or was it 2019? I lose track of what year was what in F1 quite quickly. They all sort of blend into one, but yeah, no, I think so far so good. I mean, obviously they are only on base spec cars. We have seen some very early sort of 2026. I would effectively call them prototypes. They're sort of Gen A cars. I mean, most teams I think have said that they're going to come out with a test car that they're going to use to run in the engines, and then sort of as a mule, and then you won't really see the real car until Bahrain. Obviously, they might run them in Barcelona, they might not, but we won't see that because that's a closed doors test with no media allowed. However, Cadillac ran their one car at Silverstone the other day. I saw that got leaked. I saw a shot of it going through Maggots Beckett's. It looked quite good. It's obviously very hard to tell because it's all black. So, and then Audi very publicly ran their car at Barcelona. Knowing how cold it's been in the UK the past few weeks, I'm wondering how Cadillac did. I know they're doing a lot of systems tests, however, internally. I do have a friend inside of Cadillac, inside of the F1 team, so I know they're doing a lot of simulator tests in terms of like, they don't really care about the lap time, they're just sort of getting their procedures down for now, and they'll worry about pace later on. Ted is wishing he was inside a Cadillac. Technically he is inside a Cadillac, but it's in the pit lane.
That's a fair shot. Fair point. There is the Cadillac that Ted Edwards is sitting inside of. He actually has a laptop on his lap that he's using to run this stream. And I don't know, probably that is okay. That is doubly not the line through Ratty on there. I'm gonna pretty much guarantee that is gonna be a track cut. Maybe they both lifted and not kept points. Not really sure, but according to our broadcaster, that was legal.
That's the line, apparently.
Apparently, I'm thinking that they lifted in order to not get the track limit penalty because the Le Mans Ultimate system, well, maybe not for Van der Vecken. He's a lot quicker, so clearly he kept his foot to the floor. Usually the Le Mans Ultimate track limit system, I'm a big fan of it. Sometimes it can be a bit melodramatic and sort of seem like it's a bit random on when it wants to dole out penalties to you, but it will warn you. It'll show up either yellow or orange or red if you've basically cut an entire circuit, and sort of gives you an opportunity to slow down, give up the time you gained, and if you do, it'll go green again. It won't matter. You'll still keep your lap. Obviously, you won't really have gained any of that time. And if not, you'll get a points determination from 0.25 up to, I don't know, 1-2 points against your bank, your wallet of track limits. And then you carry on your merry way. If you overdo it and get too many points, you will get a drive-through penalty. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and I think it works. It works reasonably well. There's a couple of things that I sort of wish was maybe a bit different about it. I wish that there was other things that took into account for that sort of automated system, i.e. contact. Kind of wish that played a part, because there's been plenty of clips going around, and everybody probably knows the clip I'm talking about.
I think we've all seen
a
the
Porsche driver
video. Yeah.
Yes. And so fun fact about that Lamborghini was Kevin Boss.
Was it?
The Lamborghini that got ran into, that was Kevin Boss. And he and I were driving together preparing for the 4 hours of Portimao.
Was he fuming?
Oh, dude, he was. The first time it happened, he was like.
I know Kevin well enough to know how angry he gets.
Properly. And I sort of was like, and naturally I was like, wait, what do you mean? I obviously wasn't in a session. I was in a different one, but we were both sort of driving simultaneously. And I was sort of like, my thing always is like, why? Like, what happened? And then he started doing it more and more. He and I finished our race. We checked in on the Broadbent stream, and lo and behold, there was a villain that was created that day. And I hope he gets permanently banned from LMU and isn't allowed to drive in that sim anymore, because I don't think that is something that you should be able to get away with.
Does LMU do hardware bans or IP bans? If it's an IP ban, then he won't be able to race from that IP address ever.
They do IP bans, according to Mr. Edwards, if it's very, very severe. And I think if it's your first offense, it seems like they do a 30-day. I think is the rumor. Oh, it's Gurgly Goy off at where
Fania Chicane.
Oh, that's Fania Chicane. Absolutely, well spotted. That is an interesting place to go off for sure. We're gonna get the.
Did he touch a curb?
Replay.
No, he just carried too much speed and oversped on the rear end by the looks of it.
That was late on the brakes, and he tried to save it.
Oh, he's hit.
I'm surprised that he still had a rear wing.
See if that's going in a straight line, because I reckon that's whacked the rear left wheel.
I can
to knock it out of a line.
Pretty much guarantee.
Oh, that's a big hit, actually. Oh. How's that not doing any body damage?
I don't know.
Yep.
Yep.
It's decided to do suspension damage. It's pit lane.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
We knew that was going to happen. Yeah, he'd struggle to get that round for another hour. Could he make it to the end if he fuels up now? I don't know how long a hypercar can go on a tank.
No.
So he's gonna have to
maybe if he did, half a lap's worth of fuel saving every single lap. But
see if he can spot Ted from the onboard camera.
I don't know what box he's in, so I can't say.
There's an Alpine there that I can see.
That is an Alpine. I'm pretty sure that might be Nyring's Alpine.
Yeah,
the driver that shows in 5th place, but isn't, obviously. But, well, we'll see what it looks like from pit lane. And I think Gurgly Goy... Oh, I was going to say, I think Gurgly Goy is going to be sitting there for quite some time. Well, he's going to be sitting there for the rest of the race and the rest of the season, as that's the first DNF, and I'm crossing my fingers and toes when I say hopefully the only DNF that we see in this race. Hopefully everybody makes it to the end, grabs their final bit of points, and hopefully he's able to jump up a couple of spots in the championship. Being said, just to remind you what the championship is looking like in the GT3 class, it is a tie for the lead. That being Nathan Smith-Adams and Chase Jones, both tied at 150 points. Both have 2 wins and 2 second places. Not sure how that's going to be sorted out towards the end. One would think that Chase Jones would get it because he won the races sooner, and that tends to be how that's calculated. But ultimately, we don't really know, and we'll know once the final results have panned out.
I'm going to go do a deep dive of the rules.
Do it.
Yep.
Do it, and I will give more numbers. Zach Vermaak is in third with 121 points, and I believe was with us in the chat saying that he signed out of the race, but ended up being able to race today, but it didn't exactly work out. And I have to say, Zach, I'm a bit gutted for you, because if you won the race today, actually, I think if you came third, you would have won the championship. You would have snatched it away by 1 point if you finished on the podium today, but you win some, you lose some, and possibly, maybe you'll stay in 4th position. It's enough of a swing that Janowski might tip you at the very end, and Rybecki might do the same as well. If they finish high enough up, I'll do some math at some point, maybe. In the hypercar field for Split 1, it's Louis Kierton, otherwise known on the circuit as Louis Kinder, who is not here today as well, but while the championship is all but wrapped up after Paul Ricard, there's nothing that Milan van der Vecken can do to win this championship, though he's driving like he can, and Milan's in second. Louis Kierton, 150 points. Van der Vecken, 103. Billy Octane, 102. So I think I have now realized why Billy seemed to be fighting as hard as he could, because ultimately it was for a championship position. But, you know, if the fight's not over, something could happen. Octane could find lots of pace in the second stint, or find a lot of pace now, or there could be an incident. We don't know. We can't say for sure. And we're on board now with Tom Shipston, who, well, he's had a bit of a lonely season through a lot of this. Maybe not being exactly on the pace, or just sort of being in between pace in the world famous, well, the RCI famous at least, John Dalton zone. But he's in 4th position right now, in the John Dalton zone, and relaxing, maybe enjoying the final race of the season, and Split 2. Action in Split 2, I must say. I did completely forget to give the qualifying results of Split 2, which, my apologies, I don't know what they are, I don't know what they were, but I do know what the race is looking like at the moment. It's Raymond Hertog in the hypercar field in the BMW leading the race at the moment. Nicholas Keller's in second in a Peugeot. George Barr is in third in a Porsche, and I must say the fight from 4th to 1st is only split by about 7 seconds. It's very close at the top of that field, so maybe a bit of changing might happen. In the GT3 field, it's Luca Rabin Ryu in 1st in the Lexus, the mighty V8-powered Lexus. Luca Pavin, the other Luca, spelled with a C this time and not with a K, is in 2nd position in a BMW, and Dries Verhulst is in 3rd. That is a podium that's, well, it's been a bit shaken up, but that is a podium that Split has come to know and love. Callum Kerwin, do we have...
I have done a deep dive.
Have you?
There is no rule in the RCI rulebook on scoring. So I don't know where we stand exactly on that, because it doesn't exist. Not at least in the rulebooks that I can see in the racing, the stewarding, or in the Discord rules is anything about scoring. So,
well, this may be an unprecedented thing as well. I don't know if it's ever happened.
I don't think it has. Teddy is asking to do with what scoring. There is no rule to do with scoring or settling a tie in a championship. Okay. Ted's telling us that
go check the website. Go check
Be
the
right
website.
back. I'm going to go check the website, assuming it's still on there.
Should be.
Okay. It used to be coded.
Oh,
okay.
It was a back-end deal that settled ties. Got you. Thank you, Mr. Edwards.
It's probably the easiest way to highlight now that we obviously still do have a website, race.rci.com, but it isn't used at the moment for hosting our championships. As we've mentioned before, we are now on SimGrid, so all of our championships are on there now. But racerci.com will be back with some other bits and pieces on there at some point. However, I think it's just being decided exactly what we do with it at the moment, and what direction we want to take it in. And it is still being worked on, but it's sort of on the back burner. But we're using SimGrid at the moment, and I think it's been working quite well, Jack, don't you?
I think it's been working all right. There was a little bit of the switch over was a little bit contentious. I know that there was some people that were like, "Oh, this is maybe a step in the wrong direction," but we did what we thought was best, and the powers that be thought long and hard, and that's what they decided to do. And we're still here. We're still racing. We still have things to look forward to this year. And so, I don't know. I think it's been all right. I obviously don't race, so I guess I don't really see the nitty-gritty of it. I don't experience the sign-up process as most other people do. However, nobody's complained out loud so loud that I've heard it. So, don't know, can't say. But that is where you go if you want all the information about what we do and when we're doing it. That would be SimGrid. And obviously Racing Club International is where you'd find us. I'd recommend checking out the Discord as well, because that's where all the info is, all the nitty-gritty, and the ability to talk to drivers and talk to us and tell us we're doing a good job. And, come hang out. It is a good community. And we do have things happening. Speaking of things happening,
GT3 Masters.
GT3 Masters, indeed, will begin not next week, but the week after, correct? Or is it the 19th? You know what?
Starts on the 19th.
I feel a bit of a fool because
it's next week.
It is next week that it starts. We're coming back with another ACC Monday Championship, the GT3 Masters. It's been a while since we've done any sort of GT3 racing, and the people that want it are finally getting it. We are using the LFM BOP, which is arguably the best BOP that exists on ACC at the moment. So we'll be using that. It is a 6-round championship, hour-long sprint races in the first 4, hour-and-a-half long still sprint races. And then the final 2 rounds, and we end with Bathurst, everyone's favorite circuit. I know everybody loves Bathurst. Nothing ever goes wrong at Bathurst, but it'll be entertaining.
I remember seeing a clip the other day of, I think it was a supercars race at Bathurst. It might have been the Bathurst one, endurance race, but of a tree blocking the track on the exit of, I can't remember, Forest Elba. Like a tree had fallen down over the entire circuit. Yes, it was wet, Ted. Yeah, I think everyone's seen that clip. But we're starting off that series actually, not far from you, Jack. We're starting off in Indianapolis at the IMS, and then we go to Laguna Seca, a legendary Californian circuit, I believe, and then we come to Donington Park, which I have a bit of a soft spot for, seeing as my partner lives about 5 minutes down the road from there, and that's how we actually met. Was the fact that, well, it's Ted. It's not that romantic. Don't, because the actual story is that I was at a race meeting. We were in Parc Fermé for 2 hours, so I was sat in the back of the awning behind the boarding on the fuel pump out kit, swiping away on Tinder, and she popped up. So yeah,
that is super romantic. That's so sweet.
If I hadn't been into racing, I wouldn't have met her.
There you go.
literally sat in Parc Fermé with nothing better to do than swipe on Tinder.
Listen, there's nothing more romantic
than sitting on a fuel pump out box, waiting for someone to say yes, you're allowed to touch your car now.
Well,
people forget that. I mean, people forget that side of racing. You get the cars back straight away after the race, but you can't touch, and I mean you cannot touch them. You can't move them, you can't put them up in the air. You wait for someone to come to you and say, I would like to see this, please. And then you say, okay, these are the 2 people or however many people who are doing this, and someone stands and watches you. And if that means they stand and watch you take a clutch out, that means they stand and watch you take a clutch out.
Yep. A lot of effort, a lot of paperwork, a
Yeah.
lot of you can do this, you can't do this, a lot of
Well,
rules, a lot of
the
regulations.
generic thing is the top
Anyways,
3 go off and get weighed and have a fuel sample taken in a special awning, which has really, really cool equipment on it. It has a flat patch with which is what you use to set a car up. Normally that's 4 scales on each corner. However, this one has a special like metal beam in the middle, and on the bottom of every single-seater race car is a plank. It's a wear plank. It's the same on F1, although they use titanium skid blocks, but it's quite a widely used thing. It's just a wooden plank, effectively on the bottom of the car, and that has 3 circular cutouts in it. That's where you measure how thick your plank is. That's what McLaren got disqualified for. So you jack it up in the air on air jacks. You take all 4 wheels off, and then you drop it. Oh, they're side by side for a rouge. That's okay.
that's the
probably
chosen line we've
safest.
decided.
That's probably the safest line. I'm not going to lie there for a hypercar lapping. I mean, I'd rather that than in a wall, because that could have been a big shunt.
Let's see what it looks like to be Billy Octane in that moment, because might have been a bit spooky.
Yeah, and
nice
then
and clean into the sauce. A little bit wiggly. Everything's fine.
Snag on the front
I'm Billy
right
Octane, and everything's fine. Still fine.
So he sees him. He sees him from a ways back, so he knows he's going to do it.
And okay, I perhaps would have
waited. He expected the Merc to back out a bit, and the Merc just didn't back out.
It didn't look too terribly sketchy, but it could have been. Maybe that was.
I think it was definitely the right decision to take that line. But yeah.
Yes, I think the right decision would have been to lift, maybe tap the brakes just a bit and wait.
Yes.
It is unfortunate to catch a GT3 car through there.
However, he is 15 seconds ahead of Badowski and 17
Do you know what we call that?
Van der Vaken. It's the John Dalton zone. He's firmly in it.
Well, he's wiggling. I think Milan knows that we're watching him. I think he knows that we're watching him.
I believe. Who's his friend? Oh, who's his friend?
Milan, if you're listening,
YouTube chat.
Do you mind coming to a complete stop in the middle of the racing circuit, and then you can start going again? I don't think he's going to do that.
Flash the lights if you can.
Yes, that's more doable.
Please do not stop in the racing circuit.
No, don't stop with racing circuit.
That's an awful. I like how that's what you jumped to was come to a complete.
There it is. We are being listened to.
He's that bored. He's got the YouTube stream up.
Hey, that would imply that this is boring. Hey, that's
we
not
could
very
technically
nice.
do some things now, like flash once for yes or twice for no or something like that, and have a full-on blown interview with Milan van der Vaken through
that is true.
YouTube chat.
It might be. I think it's Van Driesch, Zeno Van Driesch, that often.
Yes, Van Driesch is his friend who's always engineering him and is always in the YouTube chat. Yes. Apologies, Van Driesch. I completely forgot your name. I knew it was Van something, but I couldn't remember it.
It's the two Vans.
Very good job of Van Driesch if he's engineering that car, because it's winning by a absolute mile.
Yep. Sorry,
but yeah, so going back to engineering bits. So you take all 4 wheels off of the single seater, and then you drop it down, and there's 3 metal pucks in that metal beam in the middle, and they line up with the 3 holes in the skid. So you drop it down and sort of push it a bit. It's quite sketchy when you're doing it, and it sort of slides over and then just drops in, and then they can measure loads of different legality points from that, because then they know exactly where the car is and where the car should be. So you can measure all sorts of like different ride height things and bits and pieces. I don't know what they measure in there. When you're in there, it's very much yes, sir. I will do exactly as you tell me to. Please don't disqualify me. But yeah, no, it's and then once that happens, it's usually a rookie and an overall class as well. So there's 6 cars to do that to. Then they all go back to their awnings, and then someone comes around and starts telling people what bits to take off, and you can now start to see how this takes 2 hours plus at points. But when you're the last race and you finish at 5 o'clock and you don't even get to touch your car till 7:30, and you all want to go to the pub, it can be quite frustrating.
Yeah, but you could meet your future partner in Park Front.
Potentially.
I'm just like, there's some good, some bad.
I mean, you're making it out as if it was really romantic, as like I saw her walk past the awning and had to go up and say hello.
That's what I like to think happened, basically. but that's all right.
Yeah, but the online version of that, because I'm way too socially awkward to go up and say hello to anybody at a racetrack. Although, I think I have met a couple of RCI guys.
Accidentally or on purpose?
On purpose. They were coming to the same race weekend, and they came up and said hello. I can't remember for the life of me who it was. It was back before when I commentated, in the first stint of commentary that I did. But we are. I mean, you're planning a UK visit sometime next year, aren't you, or something like that?
I will be. We're
discussing
late
race weekends
November
that we might be able to attend, and
hopefully something happens.
Go and watch some race cars.
Something works out. I will say something that's sort of been transpiring in the GT3 field is Janowski has dropped off of Whitburn. He sort of was holding one of them for the first 10 or so minutes. Has very much been dropping back, but Wojciech Becky's been within 2 seconds, sort of been ebbing and flowing. So that's
Zeno Van Dries just said, "Hey there, heard my name." Hi, Zeno. Nice to see you here.
I'm glad that you're here. That's all we're talking about. Is that we're glad you're here. But Rebecca's closing a bit, and ladies and gentlemen, it might be another instance of the fastest hands in the West. Our broadcaster is telling us that maybe Jane McLovin is on controller, given the inputs. It looks a little bit normal on the steering, though I know that LMU does do a lot of work to sort of smooth out.
It looks a lot smoother than the ACC stuff that we see.
Oh no, that's I think that's controller input.
I think I agree with you. I mean, I'll be able to. Can we see throttle and brake trace, Ted? Please. You'll be able to tell a bit more off that than you will from. Yeah, that looks like control. Yeah, it's definitely controller. Yeah, you can tell off the throttle and the brake trace.
That's a controller driver.
Awesome. I've had it. Ted is posting. I noticed.
Did you just? I think Ted's just spent enough time watching Grimm and or Lily Armstrong.
I was going to say too much time.
And just knows what a controller driver looks like.
It's very impressive. Very impressive.
For those of you
driving competitively on a controller.
Unbelievable stuff. And for those of you who don't understand what I mean when I say the fastest hands in the West, that's me referring to Lily Armstrong, who we know better as Grimm, who is a controller driver and runs at the top of the field in a lot of different driving. Oh, it's unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
And shows that you don't need a lot of money. You don't need an expensive rig or anything to go sim racing. You can just.
I know Grimm does have a quite spenny controller.
It is yes, but it is good. It is like a tenth of the price than most people's rigs.
Yes, it is half the price of the wheelbase I'm looking to buy. I don't want to know how Ted knows that he's gone through 3 of them, but I'm imagining some of them have been launched at walls. Oh wow! Okay, it just wears them out. Apparently, according to Ted. So.
I can totally see that. I can totally see. He's wearing.
Ted, we actually had this. We had this confirmed the other day. It's not that anymore.
Yep, it's a very fancy controller.
It's a Razer one. Yeah, it's a Razer one.
Some fancy Razer thing that probably has Hall effect in it, so they probably wouldn't wear out as quickly. 4 controllers.
This is a fantastic chat, by the way, Jack, between us 3, of which the YouTube chat can only hear 2 of us.
That is the beautiful.
It's a very confusing thing for. I mean,
right, 3 wide in the box. Ted
is offering 3 wide in the box. Ted,
good evening.
Join us.
Welcome.
Hello, Ted. Also, just quickly, Zeno Van Dries is saying that Milan is not in the stream; it's him, and that next season he will be back. And Van Dries is also rapid, as is Van der Weyken. So we will see, hopefully, Van Dries back next season. It'll be good to have you back, mate. The double vans competing again. I know they've had some good. But I remember back to, I think we were here, weren't we? For I can't remember what series it was, but it was there was some murders happening between hypercars and GT3s. I just remember that there was a lot of murders. And I remember Van Der Esch being in that season as well. I think it might have
Vaguely
been the
remember that.
previous season of this.
Could
Might
have
have been
been.
multi-sprint season 3. But
I mean,
yeah, it was
I do
a
remember
classic
Brazil
Spartan
season
race.
2.
But yeah, no, it'd be good to have you back, Van Der Esch. I hope you're all well, mate, and we
He
will
said
see
yes,
you
we were
soon.
here.
Yeah, I think Van Der Esch remembers it as much as I do because I think he was involved in a few of the murders as well. Yeah, no. So Ted, yeah, I think it's now they've now changed to a Razer controller. Maybe that's because the other ones were breaking so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the controller was. Uh, it's not cheap. Oh, is it the
It's not
Elite?
cheap. The Xbox Elite controller was probably what you're referring to.
That's what he
That's the
had,
controller
and
that
they're
killed
about
me.
140 to 150 quid, and he's gone through 2 or 3 of them due to
So
not throwing
either,
them, just wearing them out.
and what was it? It was a Razer. It'll be in my search history.
Yeah, it was some
Razer
Razer thing.
Wolverine V3 Pro they've gone to,
Got
which
like
is
it's got like 24 buttons on it.
okay.
Or
To be
something.
fair, the
God.
V3 Pro is 180 quid.
That is. All right, so I mean,
Sim racing is not just for rich idiots; it's for all idiots. So
hey,
keep that in
I'm
mind. You can do it quite cheaply.
levying that Lily Armstrong is an idiot in this stream. I don't think will go.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we're all idiots.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're looking to get into sim racing, the best way of doing it, get yourself on Facebook Marketplace. If you're in, I assume the US has Facebook Marketplace. I think it does.
Yes. Facebook's an American company.
True. Yeah, I forget that. I forget
Yes,
that
we have
Facebook's an American company.
I forget
But get
America
yourself-
exists.
I forget America exists. It's just a colony, isn't it? Really. But no, get yourself on Facebook Marketplace. Find yourself a deal. People will have upgraded over Christmas. I got a rig worth about £1,000 for about 400 quid by doing that. So, you know, there's plenty of deals to have out there, and you can find something that suits your budget, whether it's controller, whether it's, you know, something like a T150 from Thrustmaster, or whether you step up to sort of like your Fanatec belt driven or Moser direct drives. Shout out Moser, obviously. Jack,
I was
you
gonna
haven't done that
say.
yet, but
I
big
was
shout
gonna.
out
I was
Moser.
gonna say. I have an alternate plan of Facebook Marketplace on too, which sometimes used gear is the way. Sometimes used gear can be a little bit scary, and also
But-
all the bits and bobs can be
But
scary.
new box smell.
New box smells worth
New
a
box
lot.
smell. It is
And
worth
if
a
you're
lot.
looking to make a brand new rig start fresh, might I recommend checking out our friends over at Ready Set Sim. Their RSS Sim Builder wheel is the absolute perfect tool for building the sim rig of your dreams or your budget. So, if you're trying to get started, if you're trying to upgrade what you got, head over to Ready Set Sim. They will hook you up. And as far as picking a wheelbase, picking little bits and bobs, our partners at Moser Racing, super good stuff. I run a Moser rig. I know many other people that do. They are fantastic. In fact, it's in my trunk right now because I had to bring it. I'm cat sitting, but I didn't let that stop me from racing. So I threw it in the back of my car, and it survives that, and it survives everything I can throw at it. Super high quality stuff. I put it in the boot.
Thank you.
I put it in the
better.
boot I put it in the boot of not my station wagon, but my estate car.
Badowski's in the pits.
Good stop.
It is close enough for his stop
Close
to get
enough.
to the end, and they are on 3%.
Yep.
So
It is the pit
he
cycle.
probably wouldn't have made another lap, so they're all going to be pitting now.
I believe these
sure.
lads, as we can only see with the hood, yeah, they're very close as well.
Ooh, yeah, it's interesting. This happened last week, that the hypercars in the GT3s were almost equivalent on fuel usage. Usually the hypercars use more fuel, have less range, and it seems that it's about even there. But as that's happening in the background, people are cycling into the pit lane. Hopefully no drama
That was a
occurs
good camera change.
as I continue to shout out all of our wonderful partners that help us do everything we do here at RCI, as Matt Whitburn, from the lead of the race in the GT3 field, is in the pits, filling up that tank a lot more full than any other GT3 car, because that V10 is mighty thirsty. But yes, Moser Racing, wonderful direct drive hardware, doesn't break the bank, super well priced, super well built, super great stuff. And once you got your rig, fresh new box smell. You have it built up, and you're like, what sort of sims am I looking for? Am I looking for LMU? Am I looking for AC Evo? Am I looking for ACC? Are we going to become a rallyist? Whatever you decide to do,
Ooh.
head over to Green Man Gaming for deals on hot new releases of all kinds of PC games, not just racing sims, but also has good deals that come around very often for a lot of sims. Everybody's going in the pits pretty
I
much.
have some news on McLovin.
And quick news for
Drive-through penalty.
Jane McLovin.
Track limits.
It's a DT penalty for the controller wizard. And, well,
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of them by now, to be brutally honest with you. I thought with Spa we were going to have quite a few of those.
They are brutal. They are absolutely brutal at LMU. Especially, I managed to invalidate or get a penalty in the Lacombe chicane on almost every single lap. They are so finicky. If you even think about crossing the white line, it's like, no. It is very interesting, though, to see how a race in the pit lane between a GT3 and a hypercar.
He wasn't happy about that.
Yeah,
Billy's not happy.
He doesn't want to be behind that GT3, and well, I think he's going to be out and ahead of
car on exit
in no time. And maybe?
No, I'm seeing
things.
Are you seeing things?
It looked like there was a car on exit for me, but
I know we don't have many cars
outside
for this final round. We
I'm
don't have to make them up.
If you imagine more, then it makes the racing a lot more interesting. I've had about 14 different fights for the lead in my mind.
Suddenly, Ted Edwards, in the invisible spectrum of light, has taken the lead of the race. If we're making things up. Because you know that would never happen.
I just thought it was an LMU scoreboard glitch. I'm not going to lie.
Oh no!
I was looking and saying, no, it's not. It's still Van der Weyken. But
that would be incredible.
Billy has a drive-through.
Billy does have a drive-through.
According to Zeno Van Driesch, Billy has a drive-through. Thank you.
Oh,
what?
Did he speed in pit lane?
He must have done a.
Oh yeah, look, you got the red bar.
That's the big angry bar. Did he maybe disengage his pit limiter too soon?
No, he's locked up on the way in. That it didn't look like he was speeding on the way out. Ped is going to find the replay for us. Put money on the fact he locked up on the way in.
Could be right.
Because he was behind a car on the way out, so
wrong lap.
That's the wrong lap, Ted. He was behind a car on the way out, so if you got a DT for that, then surely the BMW in front of him would have as well.
That is fair. Let's see.
So it all looks clean now. Watch the brake and the lights on the steering wheel to see if he.
Nope.
He
was on it. He was in fine. I think he did. I think he disengaged soon because he was getting antsy behind the GT3. That's my. Oh, look at. Oh, there was a lot going on for Zeno.
He's still at 60.
We'll see.
He's still at 60.
Yep.
I don't understand how that's happened.
I also don't understand how that's happened. I think it's a drive. It has to be track limits then.
It must be. Let's see if he goes over any track limits on the way out of the pit lane.
Yeah, that's a bit confusing, for sure. I was gonna say, Rybecki is also very, very close on the back of Badowski. I did see that just before we started doing track limits investigations. Zeno is offering, track limits on pit entry is Zeno's professional opinion because they can be a bit finicky, and I can totally believe that because they can be unbelievably rude. Paul Ricard, before they updated, if you went over that white line, it was basically a guaranteed drive-through. It was brutal. They fixed it now, so it's not as brutal, but I can see that. Billy Octane making the mistake and losing time, but not so much time that he hasn't lost a position.
At least they don't have the long pit lane like ACC.
You know, it's...
Oh god, I don't want to know how much time I've wasted going down that second pit straight.
I have
information. Very long.
I have news for you.
Is it the same?
If this were bigger, I was gonna say, if it was a bigger grid, it was a 60-car grid, that pit lane does exist and would.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, both pit lanes are available depending on the grid size.
I have an update on Billy's penalty.
We have an update on
from Harry Conway himself, 4-time Night Owl champion. I asked Billy DT how, and he goes limits on entry.
It
Yeah.
is confirmed 100%. Limits on entry, Zeno had the right idea and has been officially 100% guaranteed confirmed.
I'm imagining
Yes.
Xenos has that idea because he's done it before as well. I'm imagining. So I think it's probably one of them things. You drive enough, then you're going to get a drive through on the entry to that pit lane.
Yeah, he was very specific about it. But all right. Well, now that the pit lane, the pit lane investigation, the drive-through investigations have concluded, I can get back to talking about our wonderful partners. I did leave off with Green Man Gaming, and I will just reiterate: savings on all PC titles. Check them out; they're wonderful. I've used Green Man Gaming myself for quite a while before I started anything with RCI. So when I say they're good, trust me, they're good. I'm unbiased. Same with Mosley. Before I was with RCI, unbiased. They're good. They're great. I'm glad we're partnered with them because they're good and great and wonderful. And if we're sticking with the story that you've just come into sim racing, you've got your shiny rig, you've got your shiny Moza Direct Drive wheel, and you've got your new sim to start with. What are you going to do? How are you going to know how to set the car up? Where are you going to know to gain lap time? Boy, do I have good news for you because Coach Dave Delta's here. And they have so many tools that can help you climb the sim racing ladder, even if you're brand new or even if you are well experienced and just trying to find those couple of tenths that you seem to be missing. Their coaching tools, their setups that you can get, and their different apps that give you different information are all very helpful and very wonderful. Lab time begins with Delta, and of course, you can check them out using the link in the description below. And all of the information about all of our partners is all in the description, including Pimax. There's a special discount code in the description, mind you. And they deliver class-leading VR clarity. And if you're interested in joining the ranks of the few, the fearless who race in VR, I can tell you, LMU, wonderful in VR. I know a couple of people that do it. I've done it from time to time. I'm just really slow when I do. It is really fun. Nothing quite as immersive as racing in VR. And if you want VR, go for the best. Go for Pimax. Of course, thank you to Motorsport UK. One final shout out as having us as a recommended sim racing esports community. And yeah,
I have to say, sim setups are hard. I mean, I do setups in real life, and I still use either Coach Dave or there are other alternatives out there, but Coach Dave are fantastic, and they do provide very, very good setups. I have used a couple of them before, and yeah, compared to the best I can make, and I make setups for a living basically, it's so much easier and takes a lot of time out of it. You have to invest so much time into making a sim racing setup, and when you can just go on there and yep, that's the car, yep, that's the track, okay, here's a qualifying one, here's an endurance one, it simplifies your life a lot more.
I can agree.
Well worth the relatively small investment, especially if you're doing something like iRacing. If you're already paying per month for the game and the cars and whatnot and everything, it's well worth the investment.
Yep. And
Other thing I would say is
to
better brakes. Better brake pedals gain you most time. Same in real
I would
cars,
agree.
really. Being stronger on the brakes gains you the most time.
Yep. If you're looking to upgrade your setup and your brake pedal is not good, I'd maybe consider looking for other brake pedals. I know somebody, good friend of mine, just got an upgrade on the brakes, and well, I don't know if he's gotten faster because of it. I do know that he's more comfortable and enjoys it more. So
I went
there you go.
from, I think it was Thrustmaster pedals to just the Fanatec CSL Elite pedals, and round Monza gained a second lap on the same car and the same setup. So yeah, and that's not an expensive upgrade. You can pick up Elite pedals or things like that for relatively cheap, and they're sort of the lower end of the spectrum. But I have to say I use the Moser base pedals, but with the brake upgrade kit, and they were fantastic as well. They were absolutely fantastic. I couldn't fault them. They are punching well above their weight in terms of price to performance and stuff. So they are well worth checking out especially if you're on sort of a lower end sim wheel. Upgrading, you can upgrade the brakes separately. You can use you can use them with a standalone adapter. They don't have to have a Moser steering wheel or wheelbase. So They are
You
absolutely
can also just
fantastic.
plug them, the Moses stuff. You can just plug straight in your PC, and they'll be like, "Cool, thanks."
Yes, it will
This
work.
is what I did with my pedals. I had
And,
Logitech pedals for my G920 that I still got. That I think is maybe still broken. I'm not sure. Not tested it since it stopped. But the pedals, I took the rubber bit out because it's too solid, and then the spring got weaker and it was just too soft. So I put a dish sponge in there, cut it up and rammed it in there to be like a damper. That worked until the spring snapped, and then our lovely dev and esports driver Stewie sent me over from Germany for a little bit of money his V3 pedals that he's upgraded with um the brake pedal. I've totally forgot what the brake pedal's called. Please help me.
what, the brake
I
pedal's
don't
called
know.
the brake pedal.
The brake pedal?
It's got the
The stop
elastomers
one?
in it. You upgrade it from
I don't know.
the base spring into.
I know what you mean. But I
It's-
can't remember.
Load
off the top of my
load
head.
cell is that?
That's
what
the
you're talking
one.
about?
It's got the low cell
Yeah.
upgrade, but then he also
Hey,
put an aftermarket Hall sensor on it instead of being a potentiometer, which is so much smoother. And this was after I stopped playing Assetto Corsa Competiciones, which I was like so used to. I did iRacing and LMU, and I wasn't very good, but that just gave me so much more time and confidence for braking and accelerating. But I do need to upgrade my wheel when I can, because I do want to start racing again, even if it's just the Enduros on the weekend. Because running on a G920 on a cog wheel is horrible. Because I feel everything.
Yeah, you can feel the individual notches. I mean,
Like,
at least Ted, you didn't have what I had, where the cog that drives from the motor, that drives the belt. I was mid corner in an iRacing qualifying session, in an F4 car at, I can't remember what circuit. It's one of the ones in Spain. I think it might have been Navarra. And the cog exploded inside the
Jesus.
wheel and sent me into a spin and literally split in half. And I had a very nice friend of mine who works in non-destructive testing, but also has access to very good CAD software and 3D printers. 3D print me one, and it's made out of carbon Kevlar. So it's not going to break again. It was a pain to get on because it didn't quite fit right, and sanding that down to fit over the output shaft of the motor was interesting at best. It took a good hour, and then the power plug is broken on it now. So I think it's time to take the leap and go into direct drive because it's just simpler.
I think you should go check out Moza Racing.
I've been
The
looking.
problem for me is
not as just a
problem-
professional recommendation, but a personal recommendation.
I have used Moza before, and the problem for me is that I already have the Fanatec GT3 wheel from the McLaren, and I could sell that and then use that to get a Moza rig, but I had looked and I did. My initial idea was to try and have a Moza wheelbase and then use an adapter for the Fanatec wheel, but it just doesn't play. You can't do it. So
Fanatec doesn't love anybody but Fanatec.
Yeah, so it's either find a second-hand Fanatec wheelbase or completely ditch the Fanatec wheelbase and go Moza, but that costs money. So I'm waiting. I'm saving up the pennies and stuff. And I'll end up getting back at it.
My dream Moza setup. So obviously I've got a playseat rig, like the hammock sort of style. I would like a proper, not an alu rig, but like is it a track racer? They do like the Alpine
That's what
tube
I've
rig.
got. I've got a GTA Mega one.
Yeah.
Sat right behind me right now, and it is good. The only problem is I would say get something that has an extra support.
Yeah, it's a bit flexy.
The GTA Mega only has one point where the wheelbase mounts to the bottom of the rig, and if it had a second sort of support on it, you can sort of move the wheelbase up and down if you're like really pulling on the wheel. And it's just that little bit of flex you wouldn't get in an alley rig, but I think rigs are something you could get second hand though. Really, you don't need to get a brand new one. So you can find a cheap bucket seat off anywhere really. I mean, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, there's quite a few left old Ginetta Junior bucket seats that can't be used anymore because they're expired or have been in cars that have crashed, and they are so comfortable. So I'm waiting for one to get them to do the clear out when we move units at work. and I'm going to nick one, I think, with permission. Don't steal your bucket seat.
But
Steal with permission.
yeah, my Moser dream setup, just looking through it now, is one of their new wheelbases, the Ultras. If their website would like properly.
I think there's the 21 and the 23 Ultra.
It's a R25 and R21.
Ah, 25. Sorry, in case
Yeah.
you really wanted to break your wrists.
So
Welcome to
it's for the
25 plus
R21 Ultra is £700. I don't know if that's with shipping or tax. Then 900 for the 25. But obviously they've got the R12 V2 and the R9 V3, which are plenty more than my 2.5 Newton meter G920.
Honestly, I used the R5 and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I have an R5. It is
Absolutely fantastic.
But
I mean, an R5 with a basic wheel and pedals and a table mount as well is less than 400 quid.
my wheel, well, the wheel I would like is the FSR2, like the full open wheel with the proper screen in it.
They did just come out with a new wheel.
Did they?
I think yeah, it is a Formula style wheel. I don't remember the name of it, but I think it is supposed to be. I don't know if it's supposed to replace the FSR2 though. But I know they just came out with like.
The FSR2 is still on the. Oh, is it the KS Pro? That has it's more of a GT3 style wheel, but with the little it's got a little screen in it. Ooh. Fun fact about sort of sim racing wheels: do you know when Fanatec bought the Bentley wheel out?
Yep, you could plug it into the GT3 car.
You could plug it into the GT3 car.
Same with the M4.
We used to have the actual GT3 car that it was developed on in our workshop at uni, because we stored it for them for a while and then looked at running it and realised that it was so expensive. I think we spent like 80 grand on just the kit to get it around the workshop. That's just like the air jacks and like the skates and stuff. And it sat there for a year, leaked oil out of the turbos because the seals go when it stood still. Van der Vaken's taken he was a minute in the lead, Ted.
He's taking a free pit stop.
Yeah, he was a minute in the lead. Over a minute in the lead.
Did he put on some tires? Maybe going for fastest lap?
Probably did.
Has he not already got it?
I can't say. Ted, can you say?
Zeno, can we have a little update, please?
Hello, Zeno.
Zeno, if you're still there, if you're still awake, please let us know who has the fastest lap.
I think there's limited tyres, if I'm not wrong. Let me have a little...
He might have got new left sides, potentially.
Yeah, so they have limited tyres. So the set they start on, the set they switched on to, they have eight tyres, two sets.
He wanted to do quali, apparently, so he's doing... He is going for it.
I mean, it is 15 minutes left.
Does he really need to go for it? Because, you know, this man is a quick... No. He's a second quicker than the other two cars that are currently still on track in Sector 2. A whole second.
So that would tell me he's gone high downforce. Or he's just absolutely rapid everywhere.
Absolutely rapid madman.
Zeno Venturis is saying he wants faster lap times.
This guy. This guy.
Am I a joke to you? Are you not entertained? Is basically what Milan van der Vaken is saying.
I do wish Louis Kierton was here today, because the fights that these two have had over the season. Round 1 was incredible. Their fight at Sebring was unbelievable. I think they crossed the line within a tenth of each other, within 100.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that was good.
Zeno has said if he kisses the barrier, it's his fault, and Zeno is going to laugh. I mean, we probably all will. Let's face it. But...
I would laugh through tears. I would feel bad.
I mean, I
will say, Milan, if he does end up in Barrier, if he does DNF this race, he will lose a championship position to Billy Octane. So there is a loss. He would go from second to third in the championship.
Yeah, but if he's got 2 minutes left and he finds a wall and he loses one of his front wheels, I think he should just keep driving. At full pedal.
That is true. He would.
Maybe we do that next season. Maybe Van der Vaken's only allowed 3 tyres out of his allocation.
Would be.
I
think we should do it. I suggested that we should do a race where everybody doesn't have a rear wing, That was my suggestion.
Oh God,
That's the
is it just me
nobody.
that thinks that the? Did you see the new? Is it the RB17 prototype? That is just a Valkyrie in a fancy frock, isn't it? Like I've seen side by sides of the two.
Oh,
I know that. I know Adrian Newey
yeah.
helped design both of them, but
I know
it's
what you're
very
talking
much
about.
I've copied my. Yeah, bro, you can copy my homework, but make sure it looks different.
Well, I think
And all
before the
they've done is change the name.
Valkyrie, yeah, I think the Valkyrie before it got announced might have been under a different name, and I think it might have had Red Bull attached to it.
It's Adrian
Once
Newey,
upon a
so
time.
obviously Adrian Newey was at Red Bull and was developing.
Yes.
Because the RB17.
Well, before it was announced as like the Aston Martin Valkyrie when there was.
But the RB17 has been under development for ages, so I'm imagining they've sort of helped each other out with them, with the project. But I'm not 100% sure. But I just saw the side by side a while ago. But while we were talking about sort of low participation numbers, another shout to just please go sign up for the GT3 Masters Series. It's
true.
It's fun for us commentating when there's more cars on track. As much as we love a natter and we love a random off-topic conversation, but we've got some big names in there. I think at the moment you got Thibaut Roskam, Mike Redford, Joe Dorber, all coming back. Andre Bajtek, Neil Pimlott, Kevin Boss, Richard Mearman, Andy Boardman's in there as well. Nico Kumpu, Matt Malcolm. So a load of I don't want to miss anyone else. Miso Stubner, who was quite rapid in some of the other Monday series as well, is in there. But
yeah, we've got some veterans.
Some other names that we regularly see on Mondays haven't signed up yet. But yeah, if you can race, even if you can only race a few of the rounds, you can drop them or sign out from them. So yeah, just come give it a go. See how you stack up against some of our finest Mondayers.
Some of our masters.
Our Monday Masters.
I mean, it's possible to call them the Masters after all.
I mean, we're not racing, so are there really any Masters in there? No, it's probably good we're not racing.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely good. And more news from Xeno. The Van Man camp is that they did the 4 hours of Spa and won it. Not surprised. But Van der Vecken was disappointed because he didn't get to set a good lap time because he kept running into traffic. So now he's taking out his frustrations onto the circuit and lighting it up. That is
valid.
If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do it, that's how you gotta do it.
That's the right way to crash out, and not the way that Porsche did.
True. I don't think there is any valid crashing out that involves spinning and wrecking other racers. Just gonna say
absolutely
it.
not. Everyone's here to have fun, and if you're not having fun, stop doing it. We've had that plenty of times where people have got themselves into a barrier and they've just turned around and said, "Hey, I'm not having fun this race. I'm gonna sit this one out and watch it on YouTube or watch it from the pit lane," and that's absolutely okay. It's doesn't always go your way. Sometimes you're going to get caught up in a bit of contact and whatnot. That is racing. Badowski's on softs.
That's what I was about to say. I've noticed the white wall and I was like, hang on a minute. That's a weird colour. And then he's on softs, whereas the other two are medium. So
they must be screaming.
Well, his first sector is on par with Billy's. Half a second slower than Milan's. His second was not counted because he did an off track, so I can't tell you that one. But his last sector 3 compared to the other two was a down. So that would be all these S's and stuff. Would it be all the S's? No, sector 2's here, isn't it? Now he's done a sector 2. Oh, yeah, he's a second. He's a 56.7 compared to a 55.1 and a 55.5.
Jesus.
So because they're overheating so quickly, he can't. There's no grip. There's no grip for him to grab. So he has to go slower in and out of the corner. Yeah, I like this game for the tyre temps and stuff, because you go to iRacing, what is tyre temp? Because you just shove the pressures on the lowest you can.
I think ACC does it fairly well.
It used to do it very well, and then Kunos decided that they wanted to focus on 2 different games. When they had a really good game, so
obviously iRacing has had a big thing about especially their hypercar tyre model and stuff like that, and it's taken them a long time to get it right. And I think it's
Yes.
obviously something they're
It
very
took him
much
a
still
long
working on.
time.
But it is the benefit of iRacing is that they have that the
Well-
staffing and the ability to do that because it's an expensive game. It means
I
they can
mean,
afford more staff. Do you know
it
what
took
I
them
mean?
a bit too long when they released the rain and the wet tires for the hypercars. Me and Stewie did LMP2 at Sebring for the 12-hour, and we had hypercars in there. We lapped them twice by the end of the race because they can't drive as quick as we can in the wet, even on the straights, because they weren't modelled properly. And so we won the race outright over the hypercars as well.
That nearly happened at Le Mans once, didn't it? And LMP2 nearly
Did
won
it?
the outright. Yeah, it was back in that period where they were like really, really close. I think it was like the first year.
Oh,
of
was it before
the
they restricted the LMP2
LMP1.
speed?
Yeah, I think it was like the first year of the LMP1, and like the LMP2s have been out for a few years, and they didn't sort of know how close it was going to be, and then it turned out it was way too close, and I think they had a lot of incidents in the race, causing a lot of like the quicker P1s to crash out.
Oh, yellow flag.
Oh,
Whitburn. It's Whitburn.
Oh, race leader, 20
Whitburn's...
seconds in the lead. He's gone off at the bus stop, I believe that is.
Yep.
Looks like the bus stop to me.
And
he's sliding backwards. That looks maybe like he's not got control of the car.
He might not have control of the car.
Which suggests either a hardware problem or a disconnect.
Yeah.
Or some kind of latency issue. I'm diagnosing on the fly. So Janowski's going to take the race lead.
He is going to take the race lead. And Whitburn's going to clatter down the order. And if he can get the car going, he might not be finishing at all.
He's not controlling that car.
Nope.
I think it's just finally to a stop.
Yeah, rested against the barrier.
Cats make people happy. Oh no, it's not. Whoa, that's on the racing line.
No, it's
okay.
race
It
replay.
stopped on the racing line. What's happened?
Race replay.
Could we see pedals as well, please, Ted? Thank you. I knew you were doing it, but I'll ask for it anyway. So he's broke. He's still got control of the car, and it's locked up the rears.
He pulled over. No, that was him pulling over. And now there's no.
The wheel is doing something funny. Is that force? That looks like maybe force feedback's gotten wrong or something. Just by how much the wheel is vibrating, it doesn't really do that when stationary unless you have your force feedback cranked.
You got going again.
He's moving again.
Let me one replay.
Interesting. He definitely pulled over. Oh, he quite literally went into the.
Is he in his settings?
Marshal's area.
Could he be in his settings?
I don't know.
Potentially. I don't know. We're not going to know unless we ask him.
Yeah, I do think the judder, the force feedback judder, there's a lot of... sometimes if you have your direct drive wheel set up in a certain way, if you don't give it any input, it'll just sort of bounce from dead zone to dead zone.
Yeah, but you have to have your force feedback set up really, really aggressively for that. So
and then he could have it set up.
I mean,
but that's something that I've seen before, and he's moving again. And
I mean, the car seems to be fine. I
think what he might have done is what I sometimes have to do with my Logitech wheel. I think that's why I think that was the first signs of it dying. I had to jump out of the rig, unplug it, either by USB or the little like PS2 connector like style that their Logitechs have, the old ones, and then it would resync, like spin and calibrate, and then it would work again. And I don't know if he had to do something like that, where he had to like unplug and plug in, or like you say, go into the settings. Maybe there's like a refresh button. I can't remember. But he's lost so much time, and he's not going to get that. He's not going to get 20 seconds.
He was 20 seconds in the lead, so he's lost a minute by doing that, which is quite impressive if he has had to jump out of his rig and reset his wheel. But he will be fuming
because he's got going again. Because I know sometimes when you have a hardware issue, you have to leave server, which would mean he would have to retire because you can't go.
If you have Fanatec and your wheel turns off and turns back on again,
you're screwed.
You can use it, but you have no force feedback.
Oh, that's happened to Stewie with oh my god, that's like...
what happened with my. I was going to do a race. I think it was at the Nürburgring. when I had my rig and my wheel was working, and then it just disconnected as I was practicing. I was like, oh, that's weird. So I plugged it back in, and then was like, oh, there's no force feedback. So I relaunched the game and jumped into the server again.
Like,
Drove
I've
out
done
the
it.
pit lane, press the pit limiter button, went through 1, 2, and then it went
Gone.
and disconnected again. And I was like, oh, there's something quite badly wrong here. Fiddled with the connector, and it started going bidding, bidding, bidding,
I've
bidding.
had that with
As
the
it disconnected and
Logitech.
reconnected.
But with the Logitech, you've got the cog, so that's a bit of friction. It's not a lot of like you don't really notice it because it's gone so light. But there's something there. Whereas I could imagine on direct drive,
Well, no, my
you have
Fanatec isn't.
nothing.
My
Like,
Fanatec isn't direct drive. It's
no, but I
It's
mean,
cog driven, but
yeah,
yeah.
I mean like Stewie, like just any direct drive that
Oh yeah.
the buttons and stuff can still work, but the magnets don't. So I can imagine that literally is like spinning the most freest bearing ever. You know, it's like, that'd be so weird. Because you'd be pivoting
Yeah.
on a shaft, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Thinking of it like hurts my arms because of how light that would be.
Well, it's weird because so we steer the race cars around the paddock sometimes if it's a long way to push back, and obviously they've got no power steering anyways. The F3s don't. The old F3 doesn't. But obviously we push it with the car turned off to save the engine, because you only have so many engine hours and the fuel is £5 or £6 a litre, so it's not cheap. And I'll notice if I do that a couple of times in a day, and then I get in my car that has very very light very light steering, when it's in like the comfort setting, I'll like go to turn the wheel and turn it way more than I thought I was going to, because there's like barely any resistance compared to what my muscles are used to. But yeah, it's definitely a tough one for Whitburn. I mean, obviously you can take the solace of the fact that he probably would have won that race. It does look like it's a hardware kind of
Yeah,
problem,
he's
or
already
some kind
gained
of
2
software
seconds.
bug or something.
That's
But
that's the thing. He's got the speed, bless him. It's just, it's horrible.
It's good news for Jacob Janowski, though.
And
He's
right,
now leading
Becky.
the race.
I mean, I don't think
He's
Janowski would have wanted to win
comfortable.
from that.
No, it's
But
one of those things of winning is nice, but winning because someone's had a hardware issue. Like if someone
Yep.
makes a mistake and goes into the wall or whatever, then it's like, okay, you know, I don't like saying it, but skill issue. You know what I mean? Like, you've made a mistake, you've pushed the car too hard, or you've done something wrong by breaking on the grass or whatever. But a hardware issue, something you cannot control, and you physically did not do anything to deserve it, is horrible. It's like someone gets a disconnect through internet or power outage. Like, it's just the worst because you do feel bad. And we have seen it in a race where someone's been able to get going again, and the guy who took over the lead can see that third place is way back. They've slowed down and let second place take the win again.
I believe, Jack, this is the last lap.
It is
You
last
asked
lap.
the question. It is the last lap.
I've
Van
been
der Weyken
watching.
is going to be, well, hoping he can set a fast lap time. I'm sure he's had his fun today, and obviously it is a bit skewed because he did take an extra stop, but he's currently 21 seconds to the good.
This is Milan Airlines calling. White is going to be landing shortly.
Wow, he's cutting the grass on the final lap.
Hey, that's lap time.
Look at him.
Wow.
I've noticed him do a couple of times.
Do
which
you
is sort of
even
drifts.
esports, bro? That
Yeah, he
reminds me
drifts
of,
off.
is it Daytona, where they had that whole farce with Williams or something about that. But yeah, Van der Weyken's had his fun and is gonna win the final round here at Spa.
Do a 360.
Ooh.
Big lockup. Is he
Let's
gonna
see
do a
if
donut?
maybe
No, he's gonna go into the
Bink.
barrier.
Bink into the barrier. And I must say, I'm almost a little bit disappointed that there wasn't any sort of championship fight on for Milan, because that was it was a statement drive. It was a champion drive. It is second place for Billy Octane, which I'm pretty certain is his best result of the season. And maybe in some universe there could have been more of a fight for the win. But
GT3s did finish, by the way, lads.
They all are complete in the GT3 field. Jacob Janowski wins the race. Rybecki's in second in Whitburn. Heartbreak in the final minutes. He is third place. Badowski's going to be the last to cross the line. It's interesting that it shows Klaus Nyring DNFing on the left side of the screen because he never actually was here. And,
that is indeed Billy Octane's best finish. He had 2 third places in the last 2 rounds, an 8th place in round 2 and a 4th place in round 1. So
there you go.
That is his best finish, and a DNF in round 5.
And
so
you really had to say that out loud. You really had to remind him that that's how that went.
I mean, you said Van der Weyken only finishes 7 points off the overall lead of the championship.
That's what I'm saying. I wish it was closer. I wish it was closer because that was a champion's drive today, and the double overtake that we got to see was a highlight of the season. So Milan, thank you for that. That was wonderful work.
What are we watching? What
in the world? Reverse entry into Ravage.
Now I watched Tokyo Drift last night, and that was that. No, what was it? Cars. I watched Cars last night, and that's a Tomato move. That is.
Oh my god.
Now my question is, how long was he doing that?
World's fastest backwards driver.
Look at these two.
Clearly.
Look at these.
Oh, they're just having a little bit of a touch to end the season. Just a little bit of nudging, a little bit of love. They're taking it all in.
Now I'm hoping they're in a voice chat together because Billy would have been very.
They're not. It's Badowski.
It almost looks like he pulls a handbrake turn there. Which is not exactly possible. Please tell me he's going to attempt to finish the season off in reverse.
That's quite impressive. Oh,
apparently Zeno.
Go on, Billy, do it as well. Billy, do it as well.
Let's see. I see one backwards hypercar. You know, it almost looks like we're watching the.
Where's Billy going?
It looks like. Why does it look like? Yeah, it looks like the replay camera trying to work its way backwards.
Maybe a bit too quick through the chicane in reverse. You know. You know, I would have gone for.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. It's such a strange thing to be watching.
Right. New April Fool's race. Everyone has to do
it. He's lost into rear wing.
Sans rear wing.
Everyone has to do it. Everyone has to do their entire race in reverse.
Let's see if I wonder. Now, here's my question: does that make the car more stable in reverse without a rear wing? I'm gonna say no.
Here comes McLovin.
That's not how aerodynamics.
Sure, that's Jane McLovin, deeply confused. How when you see this out of your windscreen, I wouldn't even know what to say.
I'll do it. He's gonna do it as well.
Oh, he is.
A great sport from the controller wizard.
Can we organise a backwards drag race on the line, guys, please?
He's doing it. That must be difficult because of how snappy. You can see the front end, how snappy it is for him, bless him, on the straights. Oh, there we go. He did really well. He did. And there goes Billy. And...
Billy saved me. There are no rear wings remaining on the circuit at all. I mean,
where's? Oh, there he is.
He just re-enters the shot.
Oh, and he got DQ'd for driving the wrong way.
No, he just sent them back. What are these two doing? Oh, dearie me, guys.
What a way to end the season. I gotta say. What a way to end the season.
I've ended quite a few seasons here at RCI, and I've never seen anyone do it backwards.
We've seen them do it sideways. They did it sideways at Suzuka a few weeks ago.
With that, yeah.
And,
it sent them all back to the garage now. It said, you've had enough fun. McLovin's still going.
He's still going.
That V8 motor.
I want to see the bus stop in reverse on a controller.
Suddenly, it's actually a rear-engined car.
Does that make it a 911?
Oh.
Well, actually, technically, it's a front mid-engine, so now it's
doing
just
it.
regular.
He's doing it.
Oh.
He's gonna go. No, he's not gonna go pit lane.
Oh, just on the curve.
I mean, to be fair, he nearly had that.
Sad.
That's quite impressive.
That is very impressive, and I can't think of a more better way to end the multi-sprint season 4. That was pure comedy. 3 wide in the box, 3 wide in reverse through the final sector, and I don't really know what else to say about that. That was beautiful. That was artistry, I think. And here's your final race results for the final time. Milan van der Weyken. Well, that's the stream on stream, Mr. Edwards.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forget.
I forgive you. I forgive you. A little shot of the stream analytics there for you all. Milan van der Becken finishes the race in the lead. He can't quite do a 59 on race pace, and I'm sure he's disappointed in that because based on what I've learned about Milan over the past seasons, that is the kind of thing that would nag him, and he's going to be thinking about for the rest of the day, maybe for the rest of the week. But wins the race in style from the pit lane. One of the best moves I've seen all season. Billy Octane, his best result of the season in the final round around Spa. He had to fight for it. He had to work for it. Bit of drama at the very beginning, bit of argy bargy, bit of trips into the gravel, but maintaining second position. All the same, Marco Badowski finished third on the podium in the finale, and Gurgly Goy uh, ending up in the wall with some serious damage and maybe considering calling it quits in the pit lane after seeing how long they'd be stationary. Well, it gave us a good show at the very beginning. It was some defending happening on the first lap, but still entertaining all the same. Jacob Janowski winning the race from the jaws of almost certain defeat if it wasn't for Matt Whitburn's technical issues. Wojciech Rybecki finishes second. Matt Whitburn, after being stationary for almost a minute, manages to finish the race on the podium still. So a bit of salt in the wound, but still, at least it's a podium on the cards. Tom Shipston finishes fourth position, and Jane McLovin, the good sport that they are, the controller driver, the wizard in reverse, finishes in fifth position. I do also have split two results. I have managed to procure them for today, and I must say, it was one heck of a finish in split two. It was Raymond Hertog who won the race overall in the hyper cars, and Martin Mers in second place. The gap 0.2 seconds. So it was a drag race to the line. They were very, very close towards the end, and very, very good stuff. Nicholas Keller finished third, and it seemed like it was a good race going on in split two. We love split two as much as we love split one. We love everybody that races with us here. And in GT3s, it was Luca Rabin Ryu led the race pretty much from the start. As far as I could tell, just was the one to beat, and nobody could beat them, finishing first for the final time in GT3s. We have Luca Pavin finishing second and Emo Plate finishing third. How the championship plays out in split two, can't say off the top of my head, I'll be honest, but everything will be certified finally once everything comes in. Provisional results don't become provisional. Penalties need to get doled out if that ends up happening, and that will all be available on SimGrid in the next couple days, I imagine, for those of you who are inclined to find out. Though I don't know for sure in split one. It is, well, we know the hypercar results is Louis Kearton. He won the championship. We know that for a fact. The GT3s, well, we don't know because they're still tied. Smith Adams and Chase Jones. But I'll shrug my shoulders at that. Not 100% sure what that means. And I'm sure we'll find out. Mr. Callum Kerwin, anything you want to say? Any final notes for not just today, but this season of this series of the multi-sprint?
I mean,
Final words of wisdom?
it's been fun. I mean, we've seen, you know, it's sad that we didn't get quite the turnout for the last race that we wanted. I understand that a lot of people, like we said, are practicing for the big Spa 4 hour, and we wish anyone from RCI who's taking part in that the best of luck. Hope you win your respective splits and have fun, etc. And I think we've highlighted, especially by the end of that race, that this is all about having fun. So if you do fancy it, join us for the GT3 Masters that starts on Monday. Sign-ups on SimGrid, of course. So just a thanks to you for being in here with me these past couple of races, and Ted obviously as well behind the cameras and in the box, making a rogue appearance. But yeah, and a big thank you to the guys who did turn up as well. It's always nice to be able to put on a stream for YouTube, and nice that these guys give up their Friday nights to entertain themselves and everyone else as well. But yeah, no, looking forward to seeing what the GT3s do.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I can also pretty much confirmed that we'll be back in a couple weeks for another round of multi-sprint. There has not been official word on that. Maybe it's something different. Maybe it will just continue to be multi-class because the multi-class has given us unbelievable racing, unbelievable moments, and the fact that we filled up 2 full splits this time will probably lead to more interest for next time. So keep your eyes on SimGrid for that and in our Discord for what's going to happen for Fridays. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be what it's going to be for today's stream and for today's finale of the Multi-Sprint Series Season 4. Thank you to all the drivers who joined us. Thank you for all the viewers who viewed us. And one final thank you to all of our partners, that being Ready, Set, Sim for all your sim rig building dreams. Coach Dave Delta for all the Delta in lap time that you can find. Green Man Gaming to all the wonderful savings for PC titles. Moser Racing for direct drive hardware that doesn't break the bank. Pimax for their class-leading, unbelievable clarity for VR headsets. And of course, one final and one very special thank you to Motorsport UK for having us as a recommended esports community. And one final piece of housekeeping, I promise. If you're interested in joining our commentary team here at RCI, we're looking to bolster the fantastic group that we already have ready. So if you want to talk about racing, if you want to be in charge of making sure the racing looks pretty, head over to our Discord, head to the staff vacancies channel. And whether you want to join as a commentator, whether you want to join as broadcaster, whether you want to try both, doesn't matter to me, doesn't matter to us. No previous experience required. Promise you that. All that's required is a good attitude. So let us know if you're interested in. Join us on Discord to hang out. Join us on SimGrid so we get to watch you race. And other than that, that all being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope 2026 is off to a wonderful start. We look forward to seeing you soon, perhaps next Monday. Perhaps we shall see. In the meantime, thank you all for being here, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Get behind the wheel, let's go. Grip the road, feel the flow. Thunder roaring, steel alive. Live this dream and drive. Tires burning with gasoline. Push the limits, chasing green. One shot, don't slow. Go on, we'll take control. Engines scream alive tonight. Blazing past the red line. Outrun the night, won't lose this fight. Follow the road, red line for show. We're chasing taillights, don't let go. Under the stars, we'll go so far. This is who we are. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. The miles they fade, but they don't die. Faster now, the hours fly by. Sweat and gears, hearts in sync. On the edge, on the brink. Clock ticks down, stakes are high. One mistake, we kiss